Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Muhammad and I am from BS Chemistry Department. Today my presentation topic is leather industry. So in this presentation I tell you about how the skin of animal convert into the leather products which are useful for human beings. So first of all I tell you about what is an leather. Leather is an flexible, strong and durable material obtained from the tanning or chemical treatment of animal skins and hide to prevent decay called leather. What is tanning? Tanning is a process in which we can convert skin into a leather. So the main source of leather are cattle, sheep, goat, buffalo, pig, alligators. The skin of these animals mostly used for the leather production. So I tell you about what is an skin and hide. The outer covering of big animals such as cow called hide. The outer covering of smaller animals such as sheep, goat called skin. So the chemistry behind the skin and hide are the skin and hide mostly made up of three things: water, protein, and fat. The 65 to 60% water, 25 to 30% protein, and 5 to 10% fat are present on the skin and hide of animals. So the process or involved in the manufacturing of leathers are soaking. In soaking process, we remove the dirt such as blood, mud, soil. And in liming process, we remove the hairs on the skin. And in deliming process, we convert the protein into the soluble form. And in batting, it is an enzymatic process in which we convert or remove the protein from the skin. And in a degreasing process, we remove the extra fat and oils from skin. Pickling. In pickling process, the pickling process is useful for the preservation. Tanning. Tanning process is used to convert the skin into an useful product called leather. And in neutralizing and dyeing process, we can neutralize the skin and dye it. And in drying process, we remove the water from the skin. At the last is finishing. In finishing process, we enhance the natural quality of skin such as its color. Soaking. Now I tell you about the detail of these steps one by one. Soaking. Soaking process is required to remove the dirt such as blood, body fluid, and mud, soil, etc. And also salt from the raw hide or skin. For preservation, we apply salt on the skin. So that's why we says that we remove the salt from the raw hide or skin. The raw hide or salted skin treated with water. Soaking is generally carried out at pH between 9 to 10 by the addition of sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate is an alkali. So when we add into an water, then the pH of water rises up to the 9 to 10. So which lead to the moderate swelling of the hide, which are beneficial for the rehydration. Rehydration is the process in which body tissue restore the lost water. So at high pH, the amino group of collagen is an essential protein. Collagen is a protein which is essential for leather production. So at high pH, the amino group of protein are unchanged and the carboxylic group are quantitatively in their anionic form. The repulsion force between the negative charge of anion are no more counterbalanced by the aminocation. and produce a modification of structure that allow more water molecule to accumulate inside. And opposite behavior is obtained when pH is below IP. IP means isoelectric point. Isoelectric point is a point in which the solution contain equal number of positive ion and negative ion. So this is an equation in which this is a collagen protein and this is an amino group and this is an carboxylic group. So in amino group, when the pH is less than pi and IP both are same. They have none of the difference between them. Pi means point of isoelectric and IP means isoelectric point. So both are same. So when the pH is less than isoelectric point, so there is an amino group, the amino group unchanged. When the pH is equal to the isoelectric point, we can observe that they have the same number of positive and negative charge. So when pH is greater than isoelectric point, the positive the proton is removed from amino group. By this way, the carboxylic group contain negative charge, and the carboxylic group contain negative charge is remains same. So due to the presence of this group, the water accommodate inside. So water molecule accommodate inside. So the structure of the collagen is changed from this to this. The optimum range of temperature for this purpose is 20 to 30 degree. Soak the material for 6 to 24 hours, and we also add little amount of detergent. Liming process. In liming process, we remove hairs. It is the second operation in liming. The second operation is liming, which involves the removal of hairs and unwanted materials that are not transferred to the leather. It also loses the epidermis and also removes soluble skin protein. It uses lime and sodium sulfide as liquor. The hair is loosened due to the increase in high pH. The high pH, the high pH means basic solution. So the high pH also causes splitting and swelling of fibrous bundles. Dehairing and flashing also done in order to remove extra flesh and allow tannins to penetrate easily. So this is a structure. This is an equation in which when a collagen protein react with a base, then this structure is obtained and ammonia gas is released. And this is an epidermis layer and these are the fibrous bundle. So in liming process, we remove all these fibers from the skin. So for this purpose, we mostly use lime and sulfite. Lime and sulfite are basic in nature, so they can enhance the pH of solution. Deliming. In deliming process, we can adjust the pH between 8 to 9, which enhance the enzymatic activity and convert protein into soluble form. For this purpose, we use ammonium sulfate that result in deswelling of pelt. Pelt is the skin of animal. The skin of animal also called pelt. As we know that in liming process, we increase the pH by the addition of lime, and but in deliming process, we decrease the pH up to 8 to 9. So in 8 to 9, so by this way, the deswelling of pelt is occur. Due to the addition of ammonium sulfate cause the lowering of pH if pH down to 8 to 9. That is idealized for enzymatic reaction that take place in batting. So in deliming process, mainly two main process are involved. In deliming step, first process is we reduce the pH up to 8 to 9, and after that we convert the protein into the soluble form. So in batting process, it is an enzymatic operation that use protease enzyme. Protease enzyme is an enzyme that remove the unwanted proteins and increase the degree of stretch. It impart flexibility and softness toward the lather. The optimum condition for batting are pH 8 to 9 and temperature 37 degree. As we know that proteinase enzymes also present in our human body, so the human body temperature is approximately equal to the 37 degree. So by this way, the enzyme work best at 37 degree and 8 to 9 pH. Degreasing. Degreasing is a process to remove the extra oil and fat which allow tannins to penetrate easily through the skin. These steps can be carried out by the emulsion of using detergent and surfactants. As we know that surfactants have a hydrophilic head and hydrophilic tail. So the hydrophobic head. So the detergent form the micellar around the fat. By this way, we can remove the fat from the skin. Pickling. Pickling are then treated with acid to preserve them for up to 2 years. This process makes the fibers of the hide more receptive to tanning. Pickling increases the acidity of hide to a pH of 3. The salt are added to prevent the fiber from swelling. For preservation purpose, fungicides and bactericides are used. The optimum condition for pickling are 2.8 to 3.5 pH, 8 to 10 weight, 8 to 10% weight, NaCl, temperature 20 degree. Tanning. Tanning is the process in which we can convert the hide of animals into the leather. There are few types of tanning: mineral tanning, toying tanning, chrome tanning, and vegetable tanning. In mineral tanning use the mineral salts such as chromium sulfate as tanning agent after the process of pickling. In this process, we increase the pH, which is termed as basification, and obtained product is called as wet blue. Toying. Toying is another method which use aluminium salt and alum along with other materials such as flour, egg yolk, and other salt. It is an old traditional process which gives a wet white product. In this method, the skin is toned in alum and salt solution, which increase flexibility, stretchability, whereas egg, yolk, and flour enhance the handling properties. Toying was conventionally used on goat skin and pig skin. Chrome tanning. Chrome tanning is the most commonly used tanning process, and it is also a cheap process. It uses chromium 3 sulfate, which has been considered as the most effective and efficient tanning agent. The leather obtained by chromium contains 4 to 5% of chromium, and its efficiency is determined by enhanced the hydrothermal stability and resistance to shrinking, shrinkage at high temperature. Although chrome is an effective tanning agent, it is having some hazards toward humans. It produces soft leather, which is used in cloth, gloves, shoes, and furniture. And it is a cheap process. So most of the leather stand by chromium. Vegetable tanning. Vegetable tanning, it's called vegetable because of the natural tannins used in tanning process like tree barks. Vegetable tanning produce stiffer leather. This produce brown color leathers, as we know that the color of tree bark is brown, so that's why they produce brown color leather. Vegetable tanning is one of the main tanning production methods in use today. Approximately 10% of all the leather is vegetable tan. This technique involved using natural vegetable tannins to alter the protein structure of hide, causing it to become leather. In a sense, these organic substances serve three functions: preserving, strengthening, and giving color to the hide. A list of tree species commonly used to make vegetable tanning include beech, catechu, chestnut, mimosa, or willow. So when we compare the vegetable tanning with chrome tanning, then we see that the vegetable tanning is an expensive tanning, but chrome is an cheap tanning. But vegetable tanning is eco-friendly and they have no harmful effects on environment, but chrome tanning have a harmful effect on environment. After the tanning, we neutralize dyeing and fat liquor process step are involved. When after the tanning, we can treat the skin with the alkali to neutralize it, because in pickling we can decrease the pH up to 3. So that's why for neutralization process we can add the alkali. Due to the addition of alkali, we can neutralize the pH of skin. After that, we can apply the dye on it. Once the leather is dyed, it is treated with reactive oil that attach themselves to the fibrous structure, improving the flexibility. So after that the dyeing steps are involved. In a drying step, we remove the water from the leather. We remove the water from the leather. It is and its chemical properties stabilized. After that, the last step is finishing. In finishing consists in a group of surface operations aimed to enhance the natural quality of skin and cover imperfections eventually present on the surface. Mechanical protection, evenness of color, touch properties are the main requirements for finishing. In finishing process, we mostly cover the imperfections which are present on the surface and also enhance the color and touch properties of the skin. So these are the main process are involved which are involved in the leather formation. So there is a chart in which we can easily understand that how the hide are converted into the leather, and which type of waste product are produced during the formation of leather. So first of all, the hide convert into the prepared skin with soaking process. In soaking process, the salt is a waste product, because I tell you earlier that we use sodium carbonate salt uh, to increase its pH. That's why the waste product are that's why the salt or the waste product which are sprayed out. In prepared skin, we remove the hairs from the skin, and this is done by liming process. And in liming process, excess alkali and sulfates are removed out. After that, the skin is ready for tanning. After pickling, the skin is ready for tanning, and in pickling we add the acid to decrease the pH up to 3. So that's why acids are the waste product. So with the chrome tanning, we can tan the leather, and in this way, the chromium salt and mineral salts are the waste product. After tanning, we can neutralize and dye the leather. So the acids and dyes which are excess in leather are removed out. After that, we can drying it. So after drying, we can and after drying, the leather is ready for finishing. And in finishing the process, we can convert into the cloth manufacturer, We can it also convert into the bag, it also convert into the car and furniture, and it also convert into the shoes. So these are the process through which we can convert the skin of animals or hide into the leather, and few of the waste are also released from the leather process for the leather from leather industry. So the environment and leathers, the effect of environment on leathers or leather industry are causing much dangerous to environment, and it is one of the most populating leather processing is one such industry which takes skin from meat industry and process to produce leather through tanning process. It gained negative impact in society because of its population. Leather processing involved various operations which include many chemicals that are expelled out in processing. 40 liters of water is required for processing 1 kg of skin. Chromium and sulfate ions also emit from leather industry. Leather industry also emits smell due to the protein degradation of the skin and result in generation of toxic gas such as ammonia, hydrogen sulfide. Ammonia is a very dangerous gas. When we can inhale it, it also it destroys our respiratory tract and it also affects our eyes. According to research data, 20% of the raw hide is used for production of leather, where the remaining is generated as waste. Hence, leather industry is considered as one of the major polluting industry, which generate huge amount of solid and liquid waste. Effect of chromium sulfate. Chromium sulfate cause cancer, eye irritation, skin allergic, damage respiratory tract, badly affect the aquatic life, nasal cancer, contaminated the fresh water, dizziness, reproductive problem. All these problems are held due to the chromium sulfate. So that's why we need it to alternative path. So vegetable tanning is the alternative path of the chromium tanning, but it is an expensive tanning. So most of the manufacturer, most of the leather industry use a chromium chromium tanning, but we need to use vegetable tanning because it is eco-friendly. So that is from my side. These are the references through which I can collect the data of my presentation. Thank you. This is from my side.